Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy MadridistaFitz, home of Real Madrid's 11th best YouTube channel. And we are starting off today with a fucking banger. Yan, the man, Diomande, Real Madrid bound. We are absolutely fucking cooking in this transfer window. Just like my skin got cooked in this Florida sun today. This is home of Real Madrid's 11th best YouTube channel. If you're expecting a whole lot of epic high-class analyzation of the game, you might as well turn off this channel right now, because we are just going to banter and bash Barcelona fans. We're cooking. We're developing the fucking Avengers of a football team to put them in the rightful place, rub their nose in the dirt where they fucking belong, make them sniff some dog shit next year, hopefully. You know those little dog shits that sit on the grass for a long time and it turns white in color? I want this Real Madrid team to take that every Barcelona player and wipe their fucking noses in dog shit and put them rightfully back where they belong, in a fucking corner. I've been hearing Barcelona chirping for far too fucking long, and this team that we're developing, I think, finally is shaping into a team that we can fucking beat those Barcelona bums and maybe have some success in the Champions League. Huge signing. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. I'll be going over a lot. I took a week break after the World Cup, but this week can only be described as an absolute madness when it comes to transfers. We're going to go over the Yan Diomande done deal for the 19-year-old Ivory Coast player. Congratulations to him, by the way. 19 years old and playing for Real Madrid, and the first ever player from the Ivory Coast to play for Real Madrid. And the Ivory Coast have had some great players back in the day, including Didier Drogba himself, Yaya Toure, just some absolute masterclass of players, and he becomes the first player to ever play for Real Madrid. We'll get into that. We'll get into the Rodri. He should be coming up here soon. Another player that we're going to get for Real Madrid. We're going to go over a little bit of the Tuchemani debate, whether he's leaving, and then Vinicius Jr., rumors about him leaving, and or maybe signing a new contract, and maybe and or getting a new chin. Hook me up with your surgeon, Vinicius Jr. I could use the help too, buddy. But freaking... And we'll also go over some Barcelona news with Julian Alvarez. And we'll be going over the big tuna himself, Fernan Torres, having a very interesting off-season summer, being linked to Real Madrid and maybe linked to men as well. No problem there. I'm all for it. He may become the new gay icon at Barcelona. We'll be all going over that on Real Madrid's 11th best YouTube channel. But starting off with the big news for today. Holy shit, we are heating up. We've already signed, just to set the picture of this transfer window, we're turning over our whole team. We're getting out the bums, we're getting out the Fran Garcias of the world. See you later. We're getting out Carvajal, Real Madrid legend, the best, you could say, academy player, maybe from our academy of all time. The dude was pure class, but just getting up there in age. See you later. Freaking the likes of Mr. David Alaba himself. Good job in the World Cup. He still held down Lamine Yamal to double zeros when they went up against Austria in the World Cup, but he's out of there. We're clearing out the riffraff, including the Lord of the back and side pass, Danny Ceballos, and bringing in some real cats. Now, I will say we are trying to bolster our defense. We did get Cucurella, who I would say is the second best left back in the entire planet Earth, which is a former Barcelona player. He will shortly be kissing our fucking badge, just smooching on it, because, you know what I mean, he figured out that he didn't want to play for any riffraff like Barcelona. He'll be kissing our badge soon and helping us win trophies once again. So we got Mr. Cucurella back. Sorry, I'm extremely burnt too, so I'm going to be drinking a lot of water in this video, but we got Mr. Cucurella back. We signed Kanate on a free. A little bit worried about him, but you know what? Anything can help with our defense the way it was last year. They were just a disaster class of a unit altogether. We're getting Dumfries, who will help us defensively as either a backup or starting in games on the right-hand side against tougher opponents where we need more of a defensive presence. Leave Trent Alexander-Arnold to take care of the smaller sides, and we can go offensive and just let him unleash his passing abilities with our new lineup. But in the bigger games, I would implore using Dumfries. My gosh, I mean, I don't think it's an understatement. Trent Alexander-Arnold, even though he's a right back, defense is not his specialty. It's a madness for me to say that because I couldn't defend better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's a fucking lie. I feel like on my best day in my 20s, I probably could have gave it a go and you know, did about as well as Trent Alexander-Arnold on some some of his one-on-one duels last year were just abysmal, diabolical, you could say in nature. But and we also got Bernardo Silva himself on a transfer, which is good squad depth. But the real big deal, and this is a big one, is this Yan Diomande dude. I watched this guy in the World Cup for Ivory Coast. You could just hear all the announcers in the World Cup were just glazing the shit out of this cat. Everyone wanted this dude. This guy was one of the most sought after players in this transfer window. You had the likes of PSG, the two-time reigning Champions League winners, going after him, trying to... He actually wanted to go to PSG. That was his preferred destination. But as always, whenever Real Madrid calls, a player will certainly answer. We just stole someone out of Barcelona's academy. So if we want a player, we can have whoever we want, as long as they didn't typically, as long as they weren't farmed in that Barcelona riffraff, we can go and get pretty much whoever we want. And we just pulled out our sizable cocks and got freaking Yan Diomande. We made one bid a couple days ago for 80 million. RP Likes It said that wasn't enough, guys. You're gonna have to do better than that. And then we raised it to, I believe I think up to 113 million for this cat. But everyone was in on this guy. PSG wanted this guy. Liverpool wanted this guy. We ended up getting him. I think this is going to be a great signing for Real Madrid because, simply put, we've employed absolute trash on our right wing for a while. We haven't had a proper right winger since Gareth Bale, and that's being nice. If you look at our lineup, we've employed the likes of Mastantuono, Slim Shady himself. I've said this for a long time. He's a young cat too. He needs to go out on loan, or we need to sell him. I do not know on the football field, objectively speaking, what value he brings. You know, when it's a young player, you sometimes see something, you know, they're electric athletically, they're good at dribbling, they're smart, they either have a great first touch, they're good at shooting, they just do something electric on the pitch, which I'll get into this Diomande cat in a little bit. But man, I didn't see it from Mastantuono. I hope he gets better. I hope a loan does him good. I don't care where he goes out, but he needs time to play football, and I think Yan Diomande will come right in and fill this right wing position. And too, we have Endrick coming back. That'll be a good battle to see maybe who's going to get minutes there between Diomande and or Endrick. And we also, unfortunately, we employ the Morocco Prince there, which is Brahim Diaz, who, just close your eyes right now. Let me take a little break. That's what you get from Brahim Diaz. Just a lot of effort, but nothing. No goals. When you close your eyes, what do you see? It's a nothingness. No goals ever. No assists. He didn't score a single goal in La Liga last year. Now, say what you want about this cat. One thing he does not lack is fucking pace and physicality. This dude's 19 years old, but he's 6 foot, and he's a dynamic running with the ball. He's a very fast cat, and I think something that has really affected Real Madrid over the past 2 seasons is we have no balance in our team. There's nothing on the right-hand side. Defenses almost shift to the left because they know everything is coming from the left with Vinny and Mbappe. But when we shift the ball over to the right, we are passing it to bums like Mastantuono, and honestly, when you pass the ball to Mastantuono, it's just going to hit 5 feet off his foot and go to a defender. And then Brahim Diaz, he tries really hard, but the dude just gets bodied off the ball. It's almost criminal. But now, finally, we have a guy, if you leave this cat unmarked, he is fast as hell. He is a physical cat. Say that what you want about him. He was coming from RP Leipzig. Everyone wanted this guy. He's capable of banging in goals. Things I see from him, and I'll admit it, I didn't watch a lot of him except for the World Cup, and even then I was like, this guy's going to end up at a bigger club than Leipzig. You could just see it every time he got the ball. He was making runs down. They were playing him on the left for Ivory Coast, but I guess his preferred position is over at right wing. But you could see it right off the bat. This guy was just ripping down the left wing, just with extreme pace, dribbling. He's also a very crafty dribbler. Like when you check out his highlights, I know highlights aren't everything, but this dude is good with both feet. One thing you also see in his videos is he shoots with both feet. Now that's a very hard skill that usually young players don't have. Look at the so-called best player in the world, Lamine Yamal. He struggles with his finishing, and certainly he's a left-footed finisher. He's a left-footed player. Now, a guy like Diomande, I'm not saying he's good as Lamine Yamal, certainly not, but he can bang in goals with his right and or left foot. That's a talent. That's something that is hard to develop, and a guy at his young age shooting the ball with the right and left foot, that's a little Dembele-like. I actually don't know what his preferred foot is. When you look at a video of him, he uses both his right and his left foot a lot. Usually classic right wingers. You see it all the time with classic wingers. If you look back in the day to Robin and or some of the best right wingers in the world, Elise right now, even Lamine Yamal, they're all left-footed. You know what they want to do? They want to cut the ball in to the left. They want to hang to the right and then drift in on their left foot, beat some guys, and then try to curl it home. This Diomande cat, which is great about him, is he can play either wing because he's comfortable with either foot. He plays on the left wing with the Ivory Coast, but he also, his preferred position is right wing. And I even heard that he plays some right back too. Shit, we don't need him there, but you're getting a very dynamic player. And this is just something we've been lacking for a long time at Real Madrid. They tried signing Massentuno. That was a huge misstep. I just don't see a lot of talent from the cat right now. Maybe he's not fully developed, but there is something that you cannot teach at the end of the day, and that's being fucking lightning fast. If you leave the right side of our field unmarked, this Diomande cat, I think will bang in some goals. Now, will he start right off the rip? Who knows? Maybe not because of his age, but if we still have Brahim Diaz, and if we still have Massentuno, maybe they'll start off at the beginning, but if they don't produce results, they're going to let this young cat go in, and I guarantee you he's going to work a madness, and he's going to score some goals. I'm looking forward to it. This is a very good signing. When everyone in Europe wants this cat, this leads me to believe that this guy is going to end up being a very good product, and we're getting him at that tender age of 19. But even at 19, look at him last year as an 18-year-old. Say what you want about the Bundesliga and all that, but this dude banged in 12 goals and 8 assists. You know, it's a top 5 league in Europe. Those are quantifiable stats. I don't care who you are. In order to put up 12 goals and 8 assists, you have to be a pretty decent player. We'll see what he does in the Spanish league, but I'm getting excited for this Real Madrid team again. And really, I feel like we are piecing together the puzzle right now, the combat Barcelona. And the thing about it, what we are creating at Real Madrid, and I've said this before, in order to win La Liga, it's not all about being better than Barcelona. We just need to be better against every other team. Even if we don't beat Barcelona, we can't have any more missteps against the Getafes of the world. We can't be losing to the Albacetes, to all these small fish. And I think what we are really building is a fast, physical team. We get Vinicius Jr., we get Mbappe up there, we get this Yan Diomande guy. We are going to be fast as fuck. And hopefully we can finally expose that high line. And I think the key to exposing it is getting one midfielder that's a change of pace from what we have right now at Real Madrid. A guy that we don't have, that doesn't fit the mold of what we have right now, which I'll go over in a minute. But we are building a very fast team, a very strong team up top, a team that will just be able to run the race. At the end of the day, all these smaller sides are going to have a very difficult time keeping up with us, with our pace and power. And I'm just really looking forward to this. This is bringing new hope for me. And I'll get into Barcelona in a minute, but they, in my opinion, are losing this summer right now. Our team is getting significantly better, and their team, in my opinion, is stuck in neutral right now. But I think one more signing needs to take place in order for me to be fully convinced of this team. And I was apprehensive about this guy. I will admit this. Fitz was wrong. I said this guy was cooked. I think he still has a couple more years after the way he played in the World Cup. And that is a Mr. Rodri, who we are also heavily linked to this guy. Now, we haven't put in an official bid for him. When I'm hearing about Rodri and what I'm seeing, I don't have like an insider source or whatnot. I'm not even going to try to pretend, and that would be all fucking cap if I said that. But what I've heard about Rodri is it's already, he's been twerking for Real Madrid for a while. This guy loves fucking Madrid. He grew up in the Atletico Madrid Academy, but everyone knows, if you have a chance to go to Real Madrid, you just do it. They're the best club. They're the best club in the world. Maybe not on form, but everyone wants to play for Real Madrid. There is no further top of soccer. You've reached the pinnacle when you reach Real Madrid. That's just the bottom line. It's like compare them to whoever you want. It's like playing for the Yankees for baseball. Whenever you stop playing for the Yankees, it's a step down. It's just facts. If you go to Real Madrid, that's the pinnacle. And what's funny, before I move on with Rodri, is the same thing with this Yan Diomande dude. This dude played for Leganés, which is a Spanish team, a couple years ago. He played against Real Madrid, and he called Real Madrid thieves and cheats, something like that. I'll try to pull up the quote and put it on the side over here. It doesn't matter. This dude didn't even want to join Real Madrid. He was convinced he wanted to be at PSG. We whispered in his ear one time, we got him. We're just the pinnacle of soccer. We everyone wants to play for Real Madrid. That's just fucking facts. And then even we stole a Barcelona academy guy. Whoever we want, we can go get. And who we want to is we want Mr. Rodri. Now, I'm a little disappointed we're not going to get Elise, but I think that's living in the land of make believe. The transfer values are just absolutely insane right now. Like a guy like Diomande, I know he has a lot of talent, but this dude's going for 113 million. Rodri, I'm hearing, is like 80 million. He's 30 years old. I can only imagine what a dude like Elise would be worth. Probably 200, 250. I guess I'd be living in the land of make believe if we could pull that deal off. You know, maybe in the future with him, if this Yan Diomande thing doesn't work, but it's just too much money. And we also don't want to piss off Bayern Munich. We have quite a good relationship with Bayern Munich, and we don't want to pull a Barcelona, what they're doing with Atletico Madrid. We don't want to piss someone off if we want to try to do future business with them. And I'll get into that in a second, but who I think is the final missing piece of the transfer window. I would like another center back. I'm not going to lie. Kanate does still scare me in the middle, even though he is on a free. He was quite shit in the World Cup game I saw him play, and he simply didn't have a good year with Liverpool last year. I think the only reason he's a Real Madrid player is he came in on a free. But maybe he'll surprise us. But who I think will complete the puzzle for Real Madrid is Rodri. He brings a different profile than any of our midfielders that we have. He is certainly, call a spade a spade, and ace an ace. He's the best defensive midfielder on planet Earth. He just won the Ballon d'Or, or the Golden Ball at the World Cup. He might even win a Ballon d'Or again. But this dude is the engine that drives your team. He's cool, calm, and collected. I think something that we've really been missing and what's really been fucking up our counterattacks and our lack thereof counterattacks is Tchouaméni is a great defensive midfielder. He's a destroyer of people on the ball, on the front. He is basically the first line of a defense for our center backs and for our defensive line. And Tchouaméni is great when it comes to defense. Now, when he gets the ball on his feet, he just has no idea. He's just not that type of player. I don't want to say he has no idea what the fuck he's doing, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have feet like Rodri. Rodri has great feet, great presence. He's like a field general on the field, and even if Rodri's not making the line-breaking pass, he will get the ball and he will put it on the feet of the person that is your creator. Whether that's going to be Jude Bellingham, whether that's going to be a Arda Güler, I think one thing that we may be able to employ, which we were so great at in years past, was the double pivot. If you think back to it, I'll put a picture here to the left. If you don't know what the double pivot is, look at this picture to the left over here. We did this when we were winning Champions Leagues back in the day with Casemiro, Modric, and Kroos. Casemiro was our defensive midfielder. He was the destroyer of people in front of our defensive line, and he could pick out a pass to Toni Kroos, and it would just drive our offense forward. That I feel like that's what we're missing in this team, that Rodri type profile that can just get the ball, and even if he's paired with Tchouaméni, that would be great too. If we want to keep Tchouaméni around, let Tchouaméni eat, let him steal the ball, and then hand it off to Rodri and let Rodri start our counterattacks and pass it to a Jude Bellingham or a Arda Güler. I can only imagine the combinations. Just like back in the day, we used to play, if you look on the bottom left, we used to play Casemiro in the defensive midfield role, and then in front of him we had Luka Modric and or Toni Kroos. I could imagine something like Rodri playing that role that Casemiro did, and or having a Jude Bellingham and a Arda Güler combination in front of him. I think that would be great. I think that would I think it would also make Jude Bellingham a better player as well. And we've seen at this World Cup, Jude Bellingham on his day, in my opinion, is the best attacking midfielder in the world, maybe even the best midfielder in the world. I have said on this channel multiple times, we've given flowers, we've sprinkled so much glaze on Pedri as the best midfielder in the world. That dude was shit at the World Cup. He's ass at times. He is the lord of double zeros. When Jude Bellingham is allowed to go forward and have a little bit more of a forward role and crash the box, this guy is going to bang in 10, 15, maybe even 20 goals, just like he did at his first year at Real Madrid. We don't need Jude Bellingham, and what he's had to do is play box to box way more recently. They've even tried employing him in like that deep role. That's just not his game. the further we can get this guy up the field, and a guy like Rodri could help facilitate that. He gets the ball, he passes off to Jude. Jude carry the ball, lead our counterattack up top. But Rodri would just be the anchor for this team. He brings a different presence. He brings a different style. He's a tempo setter. You could say that as well. And I just don't think we have that type of profile at Real Madrid right now. And my biggest worry is just the price and how much miles or years are left on those legs. I wouldn't even say years. I think you're going to get 2, maybe 3 good seasons out of him top. I think his back is already jacked up and he needs surgery. But I say fuck it right now. Bring him in. Let's try to make this team as good as it possibly can be now and in the future. I really think we are building something that can compete with Barcelona and maybe even start competing in the Champions League. Look at where we made it into the Champions League last year. We were dirt last year. We made it as far as Barcelona, the Queens of Spain, the domestic champs. We'll say that. We made it to the quarterfinals on the harder side of the bracket. We gave Bayern Munich all that they could handle, albeit some of the shittiest football that you'll ever see. We played at Real Madrid, but I feel like we're bringing in the cats to create some balance on this team, some balance in the attack, and I'm starting to get really excited for it. I cannot lie. Go get Rodri, make it happen. I think this will actually happen in the next week. There's already reports that are floating out there that Rodri is building a home in Madrid. If that doesn't tell you what you need to know about whether the signing is going to happen, I don't know what else to say. It's looking like scary times again for Barcelona and with this Real Madrid team that is loading. Now, I would like another defender to come in. Maybe I'm going to get another sip of water. Sorry, I'm quite dehydrated. I got absolutely fried today at the pool, but with my son, who I wish was right here because I have him classically trained to say "cry little babies" on command when I say the word Barcelona. Like I say on my channel all the time.
What do we say to Barcelona fans?
Bigger set of crybabies in the entire.
What do we say to Barcelona fans?
Players last year, and that's Barcelona fans. And
there you go, buddy. Good job.
Crying next year when we unload this team on them. So moving on, let's talk about Barcelona because, geez, I just don't see it from these guys right now. I feel like they're stuck in neutral. As this Real Madrid team is getting better and better and better, what has this Barcelona team done to improve this summer? Now, I will say Barcelona did have 8 players that collected World Cup medals. Now, I call them participation trophies because they hardly had dudes that had any empirical impact on that World Cup run. But say what you want, they have talent. They have a lot of good players. They also have La Liga figured out. That's for sure. They run circles around La Liga teams, including our sorry-ass team last year. I don't think it's going to happen again. But you have to give Barcelona their props. If there's anything I can do, I can talk shit, but I can also glaze the hell out of a Barcelona player. Starting with, I've given this guy multiple flowers. I think Anthony Gordon, it is a madness what they paid for him. 80 million euros for a club that just got right financially to spend on Anthony Gordon, I think is crazy. But Anthony Gordon is the perfect profile for Barcelona on their left wing. I think Marcus Rashford did very well. But, he's not ever going to be a guy that is a high pressure type guy. I think Hansi Flick is looking for that. A guy that's going to run his absolute socks off, that's going to press and try to, bring some defensive, I guess you could say attitude or defensive caliber on the left wing. That's just not Marcus Rashford's game. And I think right now they're just trying to build a team that's completely in sync with Hansi Flick's vision. And so I don't blame them going for Anthony Gordon. One thing Anthony Gordon did at the World Cup, which impressed me, he was the best winger. Say what you want, they didn't win the trophy, England, but he was the best Barcelona winger at that World Cup. Lamine Yamal, I don't want to say he was dirt, but he was fucking mid. For the best player in the world, you never saw a goal or assist from Lamine Yamal. Nothing quantifiable, that's for sure. He did pass the eye test, and he would definitely be on some YouTube highlights if that's what you want to say is the best thing about soccer, is a guy that can give you YouTube highlights. For me, I like the quantifiable. I like my wingers to bang in goals and get assists. That's just me. But this Anthony Gordon cat, he certainly did that. He even in the semifinals, he stepped up and scored a goal, and the guy had 2 assists against Mexico. When England needed him the most, he produced. I will say that, and I think he's going to cook at Barcelona now. 80 million euros, I think that's just the market. It's a fucking madness, and that that ties me all into Julian Alvarez. And I will say there's some other players at Barcelona. They are talented. Kubarsi is amazing. That dude, I couldn't even imagine his value. I wish I had that at Real Madrid. Eric Garcia, the also a Barcelona defender, he played on that Spanish team. He got a participation trophy. Their keeper got a participation trophy. Danny Olmo had a good World Cup. I got to hand him to that. The Barcelona princess himself, the man that looks like Rue from Ozarks, Lamine Yamal, he collected a participation trophy. He will get awarded a Ballon d'Or. I'll go over that in a different video, which mostly I believe has to do with FIFA corruption. It's just a madness what goes on with FIFA. He is their golden boy that they're going to try to promote in future generations, and they're gonna figure out a way to get him a Ballon d'Or. I think he will win the most controversial Ballon d'Or of all time, but he's coming back to Barcelona next year. Barcelona does have talent. That is for goddamn sure. But the thing is if you stay stagnant and you don't improve your team on a year-to-year basis, the guys lying in the weed will eventually catch up to you. And I just don't see them improving their team significantly. We've already pointed out that they were getting long in the tooth at striker. They needed a guy to fill the hole that Lewandowski was leaving. He was getting long in the tooth. They need a striker. We've established that. I think they need more defenders because their defenders absolutely have to run their fucking asses off playing that stupid high line. That gets exposed by every big club in Europe except ours because we were fucking sorry last year. But in order to cover that 50, 60 yards of space, these defenders on Barcelona had to fucking run their asses off. They have to run their asses off up front. They never get really a break because the whole key to their strategy is when the other team, when they lose the ball, Barcelona loses the ball, they try to pressure the other team and get the ball back right away. And that's falls on their left and right back. And even they have their center backs up stupid high past midfield trying to win the ball back. So they're nonstop running. If their players get gassed, they need good backups. I haven't seen them make any defensive changes. I thought one would come. It's an absolute madness. There is even a report too that Frankie de Jong, one of their best midfielders, got hurt and he's out for 6 months. What is Barcelona doing to make their team better? I simply don't see it. I think Anthony Gordon will be very good, but you could argue they already had a guy in Rafinha on that team. Is he leaving? Is Mr. Champions League leaving himself? Oh, I call him Mr. Champions League. I'll put this up. If you're new to the channel, that's what Barcelona fans call this guy. He's the Lord of the Champions League. By the way, this guy has never won a Champions League, never will win a Champions League. It's basically like calling me the Mr. 12-inch cock, like something that never happens. It's in the land of make-believe, but this guy's Mr. Champions League. So they have Mr. Champions League himself, Rafinha, on their team. And you go out and your biggest move in the transfer window is to sign Anthony Gordon. Will he start? I mean, is he going to sit on the bench? How's that going to work? And then there are other signing is this Kareem Adebayo dude. I can't even pronounce his name. I'll put it over on the right-hand side. I honestly could care less the pronunciation of his name. But at the end of the day, he's just going to be a backup to Lamine Yamal, which is a good signing. I will say that. Lamine Yamal does need a good backup because that dude played so many goddamn minutes. He played 96% of Barcelona's minutes last season, which is an absolute utter madness. You're going to run that poor kid into the ground. He already had a hamstring, or maybe it was a knee injury. I think it was a hamstring that kind of probably hindered his World Cup a little bit. We all know how talented Lamine Yamal is. I mean, he is a generational player. The kid, give him props. He's almost completed football, except the Champions League. He will have a hard time doing that at Barcelona because they simply do not win that trophy. The Champions League for Barcelona has been like kind of how pork is to Muslims. It's just absolute haram. It never fucking happens. I mean, I hate to say that. So Lamine Yamal is going to have a hell of a season next year. He's going to have to bring his shooting boots. We've seen that he struggles with finishing. He's quite a young cat, but they did sign a backup for Lamine Yamal, a young guy from the Bundesliga as well, Kareem. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, but besides that, they've done fucking nothing. They spent their whole summer chasing after Julian Alvarez, which will this ever materialize? Who the hell knows at this point? I mean, I just wrote for the headline of this slide, show me the money, Barca, if you want your boy. Now, one thing that Barcelona has done wrong is they pissed off Atletico Madrid. The only thing I can think of is Atletico Madrid, they're just tired of getting shit on by Real Madrid and or Barcelona. they've always been put to the corner. They've always been like the redheaded stepchild, Atletico Madrid. Now, I don't hate Atletico Madrid nearly as much as Barcelona, but they are probably just tired, sick and tired of that little brother treatment. And then Barcelona was swooping in. Maybe they talked to the player before the team and they agreed to personal terms with Julian Alvarez. Everyone was getting excited. There was pictures everywhere online with Julian Alvarez in a Barcelona jersey. There was stuff saying, Deco's cooking. It's a done fucking deal. Barcelona was winning the Champions League with Julian Alvarez. Now, the only problem is they didn't talk to fucking Atletico Madrid, who owns this fucking player. They tried pulling a fucking, the Helen of Troy move. They tried sneaking in the middle of the night in a fucking Trojan horse and stealing Atletico Madrid's most prized possession, their Helen of Troy, and now they're severely fucking pissed off. You guys did it the wrong way. And the only way that you're going to make them happy again is you're going to have to shell out the fucking bucks, my dude. I just simply, these are just some headlines that are floating out there. I'm not trying to be mean. It says Atletico Madrid refuses to sell Julian Alvarez to Barcelona. That's the key, to Barcelona. He's unhappy with they're unhappy with the club's behavior. No shit. And then other things that came out. Atletico Madrid's position remains unchanged. They will not sell Julian Alvarez to Barcelona. Arsenal are the only club Atletico would consider selling him to. I mean, because Arsenal probably acquitted themselves with some tact, with some professionalism, and reached out to the club and was like, hey, by the way, we're interested in your player. Now, Barcelona tried being scumbags, and they tried thieving their way in the night and plucking out the player, and you've gone and pissed off Atletico Madrid. That's the bottom line. So, in my opinion, if you want this deal to happen, and I know Barcelona just took out another $250 million loan. And by the way, I say this on my channel all the time, Barcelona covers or has more long-term debt than any other club on planet Earth, $1.5 billion of long-term debt. Good luck with that. It will catch up to you one day, and you will go into Barcelona again, because I think they will line up a monster bid for Julian Alvarez. And just if you look at it, the way this transfer window is happening in real time, the wages that teams are having to pay for players for transfer fees is fucking insane. This Yan Diomande dude, I don't know if he's going to pan out at Real Madrid. He is a young, exciting talent, but he had one decent league in the Bundesliga, and he's going for 113 million euros. You have a guy like Anthony Gordon. He's been around for a little while. He's like 26 years old. He had one good year in the Champions League, scored 10 goals. Half of them were against some bums. Who cares? He scored 10 goals. Let's give him his flowers. He's a good player, but 80 million euros? How much do you think a guy like Julian Alvarez is worth? A guy that is universally been called like a top 5 striker in the world. The guy, if nothing else, can bang in some magnificent goals every now and then. He's the master at banging in a world-class looking goal. He may not score them in bunches, but the ones that he scores are beautiful goals. Look back to his World Cup. My God, his goal that he scored against Switzerland, I believe it was, in extra time was an absolute banger. That's what he can do. Now, if all these cats are going for like 100 million, what do you think Julian Alvarez is worth? Barcelona, don't get stingy. If you want your fucking boy, shell out 150. Just put it on the table. I bet you Atletico Madrid will give in. Now, what I'm reading and what I've heard is they're trying to offload Julian Alvarez if he wants to leave to Arsenal, and they're trying to get Gokares, attached to it. Now, I kind of feel bad for Julian Alvarez. He seems like a cool dude. He looks remarkably like my brother. I'll have to post the picture on this channel. So it would be weird if he ended up playing for Barcelona. But at the end of the day, if he's pissed and that's the team he wants to play for, I more power to him. I hope it happens. And there are reports out there circulating today that said Julian Alvarez is about to push for a exit as Barcelona. Let me read this. Julian Alvarez to push for exit as Barcelona realize Atletico Madrid will not change their stance. I think I have this article. I know this video is getting long. I won't read it for y'all, but I think what's going to have to happen is one of two things for you Barcelona bums. Is Julian Alvarez is absolutely going to have to bitch and complain and just say he's not going to play for this team. Say he's going to sit out for the season. He's going to have to hold out. He might come off as unprofessional. He might come off as kind of a little bit of a crybaby. He doesn't get to play football where he wants to play at. Even though he signed a contract for Atletico Madrid, he's going to have to come out with some type of madness and say he's only playing for Barcelona next year. And Barcelona is going to have to fucking throw the bank at Atletico Madrid. That's the only way that this is going to get across the finish line. And I hope it does, because I think it would make for some exciting games. And right now, you guys still at striker only have the big tuna himself, who I will get into a minute, the new gay icon for Barcelona, Fernan Torres. It's a madness going on with that cat after the World Cup. But right now, you still just have a striker. That's Fernan Torres. You still don't have your boy. Good luck the rest of the fucking transfer window. But it's passing you by right now because you've been stuck in neutral with this dude. While Real Madrid is continually getting better, you guys are stuck in neutral right now. And I'm really looking forward to these games. I'm really starting to look. I wasn't really excited until this last week with the Yan Diomande and Rodri talk. I think it's really boosting my confidence in this team and boosting the chances I think we have of winning La Liga, which I don't really care about. It's a Mickey Mouse league, that's for goddamn sure. I say that on my channel all the time. It's just basically whoever's the better between Real Madrid and Barcelona, but I think it's going to help us in the Champions League as well. But we'll move on. Two more things I want to talk about. The Vinicius Jr., or rather, we're going to call him now Chinicius Jr. Holy shit. That dude did a madness on his face. He did a chin harmonization surgery. Maybe I get one of those. Maybe just shave it up a little bit. Get a little, you know what I'm saying? What do you think, Vinny? I'm joking around. You know what? I could care less about Vinicius Jr. getting a new chin. Honestly, this dude, say what you want about Vinicius Jr. This dude has been through the fucking ringer at Real Madrid, and in general in Europe. They're some of the most racist people that are out there, and we've seen that at the World Cup. Particularly Argentinians didn't equate themselves very, very well at the World Cup. And before I continue, I know I'm going to get off and get in on a tangent here. I read a petition going around that was signed by 80,000 people. 80,000 Argentinians. A bunch of them are probably racist as hell. We've seen that at the World Cup, the way they talk the eye show speed, dropping the hard N-word. I couldn't believe some of the stuff coming out of their mouths. It's fucking crazy. But these Argentinians had a petition to replay the World Cup because they said the refereeing was unfair. Are you fucking kidding me? Argentinians complaining about a referee? Did you watch the World Cup? Do you need glasses? You guys had the most Mickey Mouse ride of all time. You got to play all teams during the nighttime. FIFA set it up for you guys to win. I'll go over this in a different video. FIFA's corruption and how they've always favored really Messi. And they're now going to favor Lamine Yamal, the Barcelona princess. They get hard on for Barcelona for whatever the reason. And they had the most Mickey Mouse ride. They had all the VAR help in the world. Everything was going their way, and you just ran into a fucking team that's flat out better than you. Hold your L, Spain, and give those Barca boys some props. We're just flat out fucking better than Argentina. They came to play soccer. You guys came for the shenanigans. Argentina was just throwing elbows and freaking trying to get Spain red cards the whole game. Even Messi was in on it. When Cucurella went over to the ref and was holding his hand over his mouth, Messi was pointing, trying to get him a red card. Shut the hell up. Play football. He didn't even try playing football. The GOAT himself didn't even try playing football. It was fucking sad. And then Enzo Fernandez, that guy's a cocksucker. Thank God he didn't come to Real Madrid. Holy shit, that dude was complaining about his second yellow card when he knocked Paul Gabarsi back to Catalonia with that fucking outrageous tackle. What do you have to complain about? What do you have to complain about this ref? You guys got thoroughly handed an L by an elite football team, an elite international football team. You guys Argentina played football, and this is a true madness. They played football so poorly, they made me feel bad for Lamine Yamal, who I absolutely can't stand the dude. That's just facts, but I was rooting on Lamine Yamal to bang in a goal on Argentina. Now, would that ever happen? No, because Lamine Yamal never scores against big teams. I'll leave a little stat here. He didn't score against any big club this entire season. He still will get a Ballon d'Or. We will go over that in a different video. He's the lord of double zeros. He will never get a goal and assist, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter for Lamine Yamal, according to Barcelona fans. It's the eye test really that matters. But I guess you could say it's the eye test with Vinicius Jr. He didn't like his chin, and we're going back to this. And now he he got a new one. And you know what? He's been bullied a lot. There's a lot of racism involved with him. People have said some hurtful stuff to him, and I think it finally got to him. And you know what? If it's going to make him happy, I don't give a shit. You go change your looks. If you go in and bang in 30 goals. Now, I will say, now that you have your new chin, it's time to sign a contract. And there was a lot of cap coming out this week about him going to Arsenal, and Arsenal is going to go in and super our boy. Our boy's not going to Arsenal. That would be a step down. That would be a big step down, in my opinion. You're playing at the pinnacle of football, Real Madrid. There's only one club I could see Vinicius Jr. going to, and that would be Barcelona, and that would be a madness. But in my opinion, there's only one club that's nearly on par. They're far below. I would say, in my opinion, it goes Real Madrid, then way below them, probably tied for second, is Bayern and or Barcelona. You're not going to go from playing for Real Madrid to fucking Arsenal. You're never going to win a Champions League at Arsenal. They have a generational team right now, and they even managed to freaking lose that final, bottle it in penalties. But freaking, I just don't see it. And now, finally, I think the debate was all about money with this contract. Vinicius Jr. wanted, from what I heard from more reputable people than me, including the international Madrista. If you get a chance to watch his videos, they're fucking great. But he was saying that it was all just a contract thing. Like 30 million euros is what Vinny wanted, which is quite a lot of money. I think he's getting paid 20 something per season right now. He wants 10 million more. And the big thing is he wanted a 50 million euro signing bonus. The thing is Real Madrid doesn't do signing bonuses for players that are already on the team. If he was a free agent, they would have gave, and it was his first time coming to the team, they give out signing bonuses for that. It would have been unprecedented for him to get a signing bonus, and it would ruin Real Madrid's business model. Simply, if they gave a signing bonus to Vinicius Jr., any player in the history of negotiations with Real Madrid could point to Vinicius Jr. and be like, hey, you gave that bro a signing bonus. Why am I not getting one? And I believe it was something like a madness. Like he wanted a $50 million loyalty bonus, which is just fucking crazy. If that's what he wants, I mean, I would say let him walk. That we can't break our business model for one player, but I guess he's coming around to his senses. And what I'm reading now is Vinicius Jr. is close to a Real Madrid contract extension. I hope he stays at Real Madrid. We don't want good players to walk out the door. I want to see if someone can make this Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. combination work. And I think it's going to look really good with, even if Mbappe's up top, which I don't love, with Vinicius Jr. and now a little more balance with Yan Diomande over on the right-hand wing. It might work out for us. So this video is getting long. I want to wrap it up before 50 minutes. We certainly do talk a lot on this channel. And now the biggest talk, I saved maybe the best for last. Barcelona has a new gay icon, and I'm all for this, baby. You know what I don't care. Love who you want to love as long as it's consenting adults. I don't condone weird stuff between younger, kids and adults and all that. That's weird, but if a man wants to love a man, go at it. Even our boy Kylian Mbappe had some weird stuff going with the tranny, but he has a girlfriend now, and I don't want to make this channel weird, but this is just a funny thing that's coming out. Fernan Torres, and why I'm bringing this up is we were linked with Fernan Torres too this week about maybe a move to Real Madrid because he's unhappy at Barcelona. But this guy bangs in the game-winning World Cup goal in extra time, and now he's looking like he's on the proud to bang in more than a goal with some dudes on his own national team. Fernan Torres, after winning the World Cup for Spain, the big tuna himself, just doing some of the craziest shit you'll ever see. He posted a picture of him sitting on the Spanish flag with his socks all hiked up, shirtless, drinking a glass of wine, just looking, spicy as hell. I don't know how else to describe it. And then if you've looked at a video of him, he's been handing out more kisses to men than Lamine Yamal banged in goals in this World Cup tournament. It's been an absolute madness with Fernan Torres, but I'm here for it. He literally could become a global icon for gay athletes. Seriously, if he comes out as gay, he will be literally the number one global icon. He would have done the most important thing for gay athletes ever, scoring a World Cup winning goal. I can't think of not a lot of people ever do that. You know what I mean? There's only been so many World Cups and so many game winning goals, and you would be literally athlete number one for gay athletes. But this dude's just kissing on boys. He went on he went on a vacation with his Spanish teammate, Marco. What was it? He used to play for Real Madrid, Marco Llorente. I think that's his name. I'm pretty sure that's his name. They went on a little vacation together. They were smooching. Llorente didn't really look like he was into it, but Fernando Torres looks like he's having the time of his life. The most provocative kisses of the World Cup trophy. I don't know what's going on with this lad, but I'm here for it, and I'm here for Barcelona having, the gay icon on their team. And I personally, to sum up the rumors about him going to Real Madrid, I simply don't want it because I don't think we need the cat. I think we are loaded up top now. Between Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., we're getting Endrick back. We still have Gonzalo Garcia. Where is he going to go out on loan? I don't know. I've heard that Jose Mourinho wants him to stay up top. Jude Bellingham, he could play some false nine action for us. And we have a lot of options up top. I don't think Fernando Torres is needed, but I mean, I support him having fun, and I hope he comes out of the closet and he becomes a gay icon for Barcelona. But that's going to wrap up this video. It's getting quite long. Thank you for tuning in. Exciting times for Real Madrid. My gosh, it's exciting times. I feel like the tide is turning. We will come out with a La Liga prediction video as the season gets closer. Once I see all our team on the pitch together playing as a whole unit, I will give my thoughts. But it's looking good, and Barcelona's stuck in reverse, and I hope they get their man, but I hope they break the fucking bank to do it. Signing off. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. To all Madridistas and even you Barcelona bums, I have a special place in my heart for y'all. I'm going to have to put in some Olivero because Real Madrid is absolutely cooking, and I actually got cooked by their own Rays outside because I felt them cooking in the transfer window in the background. Love y'all. I'll see you later. God bless.